Hello traders and investors, how are you doing today my friends? Welcome to another video here in the Finance Hydra channel. My name is Nathan, it is a pleasure to see you guys around here, and today is Friday. I am going to look at what you guys have for me. I'm going to answer your questions, your doubts, or at least I'm going to try to answer. Okay, I will always share my experience with you guys and try to answer you guys. Actually, with real examples. We have some very good questions, and if you are already my subscriber, remember to click on the like button, alright? Because you know the content is good, you know that probably you're going to like this video. And if you're not my subscriber yet, consider doing so, because we have a very nice community. We are growing nicely, and probably you're going to enjoy our content because our content is pretty good. Today we have questions about Fibonacci, about gaps, about chart patterns, and I think these questions, they summarize pretty well the overall fears I see. I often receive questions about, oh my god Nathan, what if it gaps, what if it doesn't, what if, how do you use Fibonacci, how do you actually do these things? I will answer all of these questions and much more in this video. Let's start with a very good one. Tornado F5 the nature. Hi, I'm scared only from one thing, and no one can tell me what the fraud can we do if our stop loss order got a gap and you stack in the trade when it keep crush. Okay, I think I understand your question. This is very common. Okay, this is pretty common. In fact, earnings always do this. Okay, earnings are pretty wild because we often see some very insane monster gaps, and it's common. Okay, sometimes you are trading stock and overnight, in the next day, it opens in a monster gap and you are losing 20% in a blink of an eye. All right. So how do you proceed, right? How can you prevent from this? Guys, you can't prevent this, okay? You can't. This is going to happen, okay? At least one time in your life you're going to see this happening with you, all right? You can't prevent, but you can minimize the risks of gaps. And how do you do this? First, a good idea is to never go all in or use leverage in one single stock, especially in earnings season, okay? If the stock is about to report earnings in the next day, man, it is a good idea to just sell your stocks. Oh, but what if it opens in a gap upwards? Well, that's the price you have to pay, okay? And if you are willing to pay this price, that's what I recommend. Just quit your stock, all right? Drop it, because if it opens in a huge monster gap downwards, if you're using a 5x leverage, for instance, it only takes a 20% gap for you to lose all your money, okay? And we know that 20% gaps, they occur, all right? They are quite normal when we talk about individual stocks. So you can't prevent it. So please don't go all in. Don't use leverage in one single stock in earnings season, okay? My personal recommendation for you, and this is what I do, I never go all in one single stock. I always have a very well balanced portfolio made of 5, 6, 7, 8 stocks. All right, so never put all of your money in one single stock, but have a portfolio of many stocks and manage this portfolio in the best way you can. Okay, so this is my personal advice to you. All right, split your money. Okay, you don't need to go in one single stock all in all the time. Okay, so please just split your money in many stocks. Some of them are going to gap down, some of them are going to gap up. All right, good, that's pretty good. Okay, and you try to manage this way. All right, and still considering gaps, we all know that gaps, they work as magnets. All right, gaps work as a magnets, and they are going to attract the price. This is not necessarily true for gaps that appear under the price, but gaps that appear above the price, they are often filled, especially if you are talking about a good company. For instance, if you look at Apple, okay, let's look at Apple's chart over here. Let me see for one sec. second, over here. All right, I know this is Tesla's chart. Let me see Apple's chart over here. For instance, Apple is a good company, right? Apple always fill the gaps that appear above the price. Okay, here it gapped down, it filled the gap. Here it gapped down, it filled the gap. Okay, it took a while, but it did fill the gap. Here, same idea. Let me see more gaps. Now, gaps that appear under the price. If you're talking about a good company, maybe they will never be filled. Okay, maybe never. We have gaps on Apple. We have gaps from, let me see. We have gaps from 2009. All right. Do you actually believe Apple is going to drop to $5 again? I don't think so. So the idea that gaps are always filled, it's not true, because if the gap appear under the price, maybe it is a breakaway gap, and maybe this gap is never going to be filled. All right, maybe never, ever. But if the gap appear above the price, and if we're talking about a good company, probably the gap is going to be filled. I bet, for instance, I bet this gap on Amazon is going to be filled. Okay, I bet it. Okay, I am almost 100% sure this gap is going to be filled. All right, Amazon, Pinterest has another very nice gap over here. I firmly believe these gaps are going to be filled. Okay, I firmly believe that's going to happen because we are talking about good companies. Okay, if we were talking about bad companies, this is not necessarily true. All right, so always have this in mind. If you are trading a good company and okay, it gapped down, all right, probably the gap is going to be filled. Probably, okay, almost 100% sure it's going to be filled. All right, so remain calm, okay, keep calm. There's no reason to worry because you know you are trading a good company. All right, so I think I already answered your question pretty nicely. Now, RK Gully, how do you pick the direction for defining your Fibonacci levels? All right, do you always go from left to right in the chart? Well, that's another very good question. Let's answer it using the charts, real time with you guys. Fibonacci, how do I like to use Fibonacci? For instance, if we are talking about a bull trend over here, if we don't see any reversal pattern so far, just do this, okay? From left to right, from the previous bottom to the previous top, so you can define where this pullback is going to lead you. Okay, in this case, Pinterest did a pullback to the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement once, twice, thrice, 4, 5 times, and then it bounced back up, and here it did a bearish structure. So the Fibonacci level over here, it's not going to be that useful anymore because we have a bearish structure, but this is how I like to do, okay? Yes, from left to right, always, okay, always, because charts, they're always going from left to right, okay? So, and what's more, when you use Fibonacci's retracement, you are going to know some things, okay? First, if the momentum is quite strong, it's going to correct to the 38.2% retracement, okay? If the momentum is not that strong, but it's just normal, it's just okay, the 50% is going to work nicely. But if the pullback is sharper than usual, if the stock is losing momentum, 61.8% retracement. All right, this is the level you are going to work with. One of these 3 levels usually works, okay? They usually work pretty nicely, but if the momentum is pretty strong, usually the 38.2 is going to be retested and this is it, okay? Maybe this is happening on NVIDIA, for instance. If you look at NVIDIA, of course, we didn't even hit the 38.2% retracement, but if we do, meaning NVIDIA still could drop more 3% over here, and the momentum still would be very strong. Okay, the bullish momentum still would be very strong. All right, so let's not panic over simple correction to the 38.2% retracement, because this is normal. Okay, this happens very often. On NVIDIA's case over here, the EMA is going to work as a support. This indicates that NVIDIA is very strong. The momentum is incredible on NVIDIA. Of course, we only need to see a bullish candlestick pattern over here to confirm our buy sign. All right, so yes, this is how I like to use Fibonacci. I don't use Fibonacci's projections, okay? I only use retracement because, I don't know, it's not my style and it feels like I'm trying to predict the next resistance, and I always tell you guys, technical analysis is not predictive, it's reactive. Okay, so I only use Fibonacci's retracements. Okay, I don't like to use projections, and this is it. Okay, I think I did answer your question pretty nicely. Now, Pitaha SP, don't it seem to you, Nathan, that an inverted head and shoulders is forming on the hourly chart? Or Paresh Sagar, thanks Nathan, I love your charts, thank you very much. Do you see a flag pattern on daily chart of NVIDIA? Okay, so I just looked at NVIDIA over here for you guys, and I want to share with you guys this insight, okay? When we talk about chart patterns, keep this in mind. Let's not try to memorize patterns, okay? Only memorize. Oh, this is a flag. This is an inverted head and shoulders. This is a pennant. This is this. This is that. Oh, let's avoid trying to memorize the patterns and try to see them on our charts. But instead, let's try to understand the psychological meaning of our patterns. Because sometimes, most of the time, when someone asks me, do you see this pattern? Well, probably if you're asking me, it's because you see this, okay? And probably I'm gonna see this as well. It's not gonna be the best pattern ever, but it's gonna be something we can work with. But okay, let's see the charts over here. For instance, on NVIDIA. All right, NVIDIA is doing a flag pattern. Yes, you may say that it's doing flag pattern, of course. The problem with this, what is a flag pattern? It's just a very nice bullish leg followed by a time correction. What is a time correction, Nathan? It is a sideways correction. The price is not dropping too much, okay? It's not gonna drop, it's not gonna crash. But the 21 EMA, it's going up to catch up with the price. This is a classic time correction. So if you see a bullish leg followed by a time correction, the odds are that this is gonna be a pennant pattern. This is what a flag or a pennant pattern are, okay? They are just time correction because the momentum is so strong that the stock simply can't drop to the support level on Fibonacci, or I don't know, the previous resistance over here. The stock simply can't drop to these levels, so it's gonna keep moving sideways, okay? Doing a time correction, not doing anything meanwhile, waiting for the EMA to catch up with the price. And this is a flag, okay? This is just, if it's not like a price correction like we saw over here, okay? This is a price correction. NVIDIA actually dropped it. If we use Fibonacci, let's see. Yep, it hit a 38.2% retracement and then it bounced it back up. All right, this was a pullback, okay? A price correction slash pullback. Now, it is just a time correction, which is a flag pattern, okay? And when we talk about head and shoulders, you may say, oh Nathan, this wasn't an inverted head and shoulders. It's not the best one, but yes, you may say that this is an inverted head and shoulders as well, because we did have a bearish structure over here, okay? This was a bearish pivot point. It's not the best one, I agree, but it is one. And what is a head and shoulders? What an inverted head and shoulders or an inverted head and shoulders? It is just a bearish pivot followed by a bullish pivot, okay? This is the meaning of head and shoulders. This is why head and shoulders are so interesting, because the market is in a trend, and it's doing okay, it's doing bearish pivot points, and then out of nowhere, out of sudden, it does a bullish pivot point. This is extremely frustrating for the bears, and this is why head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders work pretty well, because they are breaking they are frustrating the current market momentum. All right, so this is how short patterns, you gotta understand the meaning of these short patterns. I really recommend you guys my video about the top 4 short patterns to trade. Okay, I really recommend it. I explain in details my favorite short patterns to trade, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is your last chance to click on the like button and subscribe to this channel, because the video is over.